Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 12 of Video Games Ahoy. My name is Jonathan Radford, and I'm joined today by Daf Gape.
Hello.
And Zach Hamilton.
Hey.
How are you doing, guys?
Good, thank you.
Good?
Good, man. You know, I'm just getting a proper look at Dav now, looking like fully dappered. Yes.
Yeah.
Look at this boy. He's had his haircut.
Well, the barbers near me has a very good, safe situation going on, so I felt comfortable going in.
Yeah.
It's all
That's good.
cool. Yeah, they've
That's
nailed
cool.
it.
Nice.
Yeah, if you wouldn't have known this, obviously listening to the podcast, but just before we started, we've all talked about haircuts and how myself and Zach are desperately in need of one. And Dav just got his, and now he looks swish. Looks very dapper.
Making us look rough.
Very rough. Yeah.
As usual.
I mean, yeah.
Savagery.
Yeah. So before we begin, as usual, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the podcast itself. We are supported by some lovely people. Let's just say that our lovely patrons over on Patreon. So to everyone that contributes to us, we really, really appreciate it, and thank you very much. And if you would like to support us, then go ahead, check out our Patreon page, Video Games Ahoy. You can pay £1, £5, £10. You get all different kinds of stuff. We just did a Last of Us 2 deep dive, which went up yesterday. So if you pay £1, you get to listen to that, which was a lot of fun doing. And we got a very special guest on that podcast as well, which is Holy Weeks. So check that out if you like The Last of Us 2 and you fancy checking us £1. I mean, if you want to give us more money, that's amazing. You don't have to pay
There
those
is no
figures.
limit.
There's no limit. Exactly. But if you can't or don't want to, we totally understand this. We are just grateful for everyone that listens to this podcast. And I know, and I probably can speak for the guys as well. We're all just grateful for you listening in. As well as Patreon, you can find us on the usual websites like Twitter and Facebook. And if you want to see our faces, then check us out on YouTube. And Dav in particular has been doing a lot of Twitch streaming. We're going to try and start doing some Mario Kart soon. We'll be doing it today, but obviously this doesn't come out on the day we record, so you won't see it. But next week, maybe check us out. We'll be doing some Mario Kart, or even, like we said last week, possibly some Overcooked. So that would be...
that's a good idea.
Yeah, we were... Well, you
It's
were...
a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's a bad idea.
what we could do...
Get really heated.
Well,
In
Zach,
the kitchen.
do you have Overcooked by any chance on the PlayStation?
I don't.
Okay.
I sort of fell out with Overcooked because I had some friends who took it really seriously, and then it sort of
okay.
spoiled it for me. Because, well, the thing was, I think if I'd learned to play it with them, it wouldn't have been so bad. But I picked it up for the first time, and they were already like Gordon Ramsay.
Oh, okay,
and
right.
I was like,
yeah, that's not
well,
fun.
I don't want to play it. It's not fun.
Yeah, it's not fun.
So I feel like I want to give it a go, like with someone who's never played. I feel like that would be a good way to get into it, because I think it's a pretty cool game. Like, it's a good idea.
Well, I played it with Rosie, and honest to God, man, we had so much fun. And to be fair, when she first started playing it, it's probably only the third game she properly played with me, like multiplayer. She played games as a kid, but stuff like Earthworm Jim, which was a banger of a game, by the way.
That's a great game.
Yeah, it's a
I
great
love
game.
Earthworm Jim.
But yeah, we just spoke about it last week, and we just randomly said, you know what, we should definitely try and do that. So I'll try and figure out if we can do crossplay, because if it can, I know Dav's already got it on the PS4.
I think
and
can, yeah.
Dav Weeks has it on the Switch, and I have it on the Switch as well. So if you want to join us as well, like 4-player Video Games Ahoy playing that would be amazing.
I need to buy it. I don't know where I have it. I have it on Xbox. If there is crossplay,
oh, if there's crossplay, that'd be. Oh, we'll cover all the bases.
I have to buy it on Switch. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
Just get it on PC as well.
Yeah, I'll just get it on PC as well. We can cover all 4. But yeah, that is that. Well, yeah, that you. So keep an eye out. We might be doing that for the next like two weeks or so. Keep an eye out on Twitch.
Twitch.tv/videogamesahoy. Come along, give us a follow, give us a subscribe.
Yes,
We've got a new Twitch emote.
Oh yeah, we do.
So if you like our little boat,
it's our little boat.
Cool.
you subscribe, you get to post that boat, the boat emote.
I am still waiting for the day when we have enough followers, enough subscribers, and enough money to get. I really enjoyed that to find someone that is willing to make us a clip or a picture of us being the Wind Waker characters. We'll have to find something for Dav Weeks now as well. Dav Weeks can be Ganon.
I thought you were going to say a picture of us reacting to the Pokemon.
Oh yeah,
snap thing.
Yeah. If you are if you are a budding artist or just an artist in general, please send us all of your pictures. We'd love to see us as Wind Waker characters. like I said, maybe Dev Weeks can be Ganon. That'd be quite fun. But so we got a lot of stuff we need to talk about today. We're going to get into the news. Now, the first thing I should say is the first topic is going to be a wee bit, maybe heavy, but we'll get to it. It's basically about The Last of Us 2. Now, if you don't know, The Last of Us 2 is a very divisive video game right now. There's a lot of people who love it. There's a lot of people that don't. And it seems like the people that don't having big issues squaring it with themselves. They can't. A lot of people just can't go, you know what, I don't enjoy this game, and that's okay. They so basically, Laura Bailey and Neil Druckmann, who Laura plays Abby in the game, and Neil Druckmann is the director of The Last of Us 2, if you don't know. They've been receiving a lot of hate on Twitter, basically. They've been receiving death threats, and in Neil Druckmann's case, actually anti-Semitic hate speech. Now, this brings us onto a different topic as well, but it kind of wraps up in the same theme, in that there's been a lot of people talking on Twitter about how this is the reason why they're ashamed to tell people they play video games, because if you've seen as well, I don't know if you guys have seen beyond this as well, in the last week or so, there's been a lot of cases of Smash, like the pro Smash players. There's been a lot of really disgusting things happening on there with like sexual harassment and stuff like that. And just so a lot of people have just been saying that it makes them ashamed to tell people they play video games because this happens in that space. And I know it happens in other spaces as well, but there is a perception of video gamers that this kind of stuff happens far too often. Maybe it's because it's something that we are linked to the internet. It's something that you do often. We often use the internet alongside playing these games. But I just want to get your guys' opinions on this because it's been such a big topic of the last 2 weeks, but specifically in the last week in particular to the Laura Bailey and Neil Druckmann stuff. So yeah, I mean, as a question for that, I mean, for you guys, how do you feel about being a gamer?
Well, I think firstly, it doesn't really, in contrast to like what's been said and what's going on, it doesn't really matter how we think of ourselves.
Yeah.
With all this going on.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we all agree that we're not trying to turn this into a conversation about ourselves or like anything other than the main attraction of this story, which is the horrible things that are getting said and shouldn't be said,
of course,
under any circumstances. And I think there's a big question about free speech and what does freedom of speech actually mean. But in terms of how you can identify yourself as a gamer or not, I think I've said before on the podcast, I don't identify with myself as a gamer because these people who post these awful death threats and rape threats, sexual harassment and anti-Semitic hate and all the rest of it, they probably do associate themselves as gamers, and it's such a vibrant industry in so many good ways. There's bound to be a darker side to it. It's a shame. It's a shame that it's probably a necessity, but it is what it is. And it's also a shame that a lot of these people hide behind anonymity. Yeah. In order to get away with saying this kind of stuff. And hopefully sort of the worst perpetrators do find some sort of justice. But I think until I don't know what the solution is in order to sort of rectify this stuff. I think it's always going to be there. It's going to be there as long as people have access to a platform where they can communicate with people in the media that they consume. There will always be people who spread hate through that. And there are still hateful people in the world, but the game was about hate. It was always going to be divisive. And I think it's not a silver lining at all. That's not what I'm trying to say here, but I think they must have felt some of that was going to happen before it happened.
I think just purely based on the story beats within the first 4 hours of anyone playing that game, I mean, Zach will agree with me on this. If you love the first game, the first 4 hours might anger a lot of people that played The Last of Us 2. You are totally right. It's so weird because it does seem that, because at the same time it's not everyone, and it's probably the tiniest minority who are doing this. And it's things like when people beyond that go and do stuff like they'll review bomb a game and say it's the biggest piece of trash in the world because it has all these themes that they don't agree with SJWs and all that nonsense. And it's just it does bring out, sadly, like the worst in some people. When I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just they can't accept when things aren't going their way, particularly in a game. The things are not happening. Instead of them going, "Oh, that's just not how I would have done it creatively," they just go, "No, it's not supposed to be like this. That's not how I envisioned it." But Zach, just come on to you. How, like, what do you really say to that? Really, isn't it?
It's just sad, isn't it? It's a game. Like,
yeah,
it's just a game. I mean, like you say, a lot of it's the minority of gamers. I'm certain it's the minority. Plus, you have to take into account the people who jump on in the sort of like the trolling thing. Like they're not really interested. They're not actually angry. They just want to stir something up. That's another part of it. And I can totally see. I feel the same. A lot of my life I'd have said, no, I'm not a gamer because I don't want to associate myself with some of those really harsh stereotypes. But it's fair enough. Now I try very hard to speak up for games, and
me too.
And to actually just talk to friends who are not interested in games and say, I played this amazing game and it's got this about it, it's got that about it, because, I don't want the medium to be, drowned out by these horrible voices. I don't want, we all know about, the controversies around stuff like Night Trap and Mortal Kombat back in the day. Yeah. Everyone kicked up a big fuss, and yeah, all right, fair enough, like it's not your thing. But on the other side of gaming, there's all this wonderful stuff that, like, I want to celebrate, and I want more people to be able to enjoy. It seems like, people who enjoy films don't call them moviegoers. That's just like normal people. Everyone loves movies. Yeah. Games will get there, I think, one day, and it'll become, more commonplace. But with regard to kind of stuff that's being said, I'm horrified. Yeah. And fair enough. I'm someone who enjoyed the game. I didn't have any problems with the story beats. I think it was a great game, but regardless, even if I'd hated it, there is no excuse for anyone to ever be treating people that way, particularly someone who's created something. Do you know what I mean? Like, say what you like about Neil Druckmann. He made the first one as well, which you all liked.
Yeah, he did.
Pack it in. This actress read the lines. Do you know what I mean? Like she did more than that, of course, but she was given a script and given a part that she was presumably quite passionate about, and I think she was right to be passionate about. It's a good part. But even if you don't like the part, she was there to do a job. Like that's... Yeah. I just find that baffling. I just can't imagine. And I can't, even things that I don't agree with. I've been to see plays and seen films and stuff that I disagree with, the themes and stuff, but it would never occur to me to target someone who's not at fault. It's not they were just making a thing. They were making it's a story. Grow up.
And to be, I mean that pretty much sums it up. And I think as well, the one thing it should say is sadly it's not specific to video games as well. Like Star Wars got this a lot, and I know we've mentioned that before. Like Star Wars, you got a lot of hate because of the way the films are. Okay, the films weren't the best. But at the same time, it's like, well, don't watch them.
I imagine that's quite a thick Venn diagram of the people who trolled and said the death threats to Star Wars and the people who did the death threats for The Last of Us 2.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I think I just wanted it to be something we acknowledge, because I think there for a lot of people, when you see stuff like this, it's really disgusting. It really is disgusting, but also it just, again, it wants to make you disassociate yourself with these kinds of people. And like, whenever I talk to my friends, like you said, Zach, it sometimes feels like an uphill battle when I'm talking about video games, because I'm trying to speak of the merits of video games. Like you said, some amazing experiences I've had, like Red Dead Redemption 2, like stuff that has stayed with me for months after I finished a game. That a film, that like maybe give it a couple of days and it'll still be there. But with a game, it can be months where I'm still impacted by that, because I'm part of that story. You are part of the story. But yeah, I just wanted to... I really, really appreciate that, guys. And again, just wanted to say that.
Yeah, just one last thing. I think what can be really important is that it's great that this stuff is getting put in the limelight so we can talk about it. However, I really hope that this doesn't become the defining thing of Laura Bailey's career. Yeah. Is the death threats and not her performances and all the amazing performances she's done. Like... started recently the Telltale series Batman. Yeah, she plays Catwoman in that, and I think she's great. Yes. She's also Rain in the Blood Rain series. Yeah, and obviously countless others, and she does anime, all the rest of it. She's very successful. Yeah. actor in her own right, and obviously Neil Druckmann working with Naughty Dog through the Uncharted franchise and The Last of Us, amongst other things. Just hope. And that's the odd thing. I think Neil Druckmann. I don't think this will be attached to him going forward.
No,
I think being a woman in the industry, you're a lot more likely to get these kind of things attached to your reputation. So I really hope that doesn't happen, and that people remember her for her work before all of this stuff.
Yeah.
As opposed to...
Well done for making that point, actually, because it's very easy for us to say, gosh, isn't this awful? But, you're dead right. She is a very talented actress. And she's done a lot of brilliant stuff, and she deserves every credit for it.
And the thing is, she's actually phenomenal in The Last of Us 2. She is so good. Like, the fact that we do start off hating her, and then this whole thing sweeps over you. I mean, for a lot of people, for myself, and I know for Zach as well, the fact that she's able to do that, make you consider different sides and become empathetic. It's like, oh, well, then clearly she's done an amazing job. But I really, really appreciate that, guys. I just wanted to talk about that first because I think it's something that's been really, really important to discuss, really. So moving on from that, it's hard to get back into the groove after.
There's no way to say that.
Let's just acknowledge it and move on. Yeah. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is actually from NBA 2K21. Now, I mentioned this to the guys last week. And basically, so for the next gen consoles, NBA 2K21 is going to be more expensive. It's going to be £64.99. Now, I think... For me, and I think it's another important thing to talk about. I don't actually mind games being more expensive, but the problem with NBA in particular and 2K in general is microtransactions, loot boxes, all those types of things.
They be slimy.
You're already paying more for a game now. It's almost £70 for a game. I mean, 5 games and you've bought a console essentially. It's. I don't mind paying more for games, but the issue is when you are then forced in these games to buy the microtransactions to get ahead in those games. That's not cool. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about that for a bit. How do you feel about that? Do you feel different? Do you think games should remain at, say, that £50, £60 mark? Or, how do you feel?
It seems to me, I mean, games have been getting more and more expensive over the years, and I suppose, you've got inflation, that's part of it. But, I don't know, it seems like a lot for new games right
It does
now.
feel like a lot of money, doesn't it?
Am I showing my age here, or I'm not crazy in thinking that, right? But then also, as you say, to add on, microtransactions seems like, are you sure? It seems, I don't know. And it's difficult for me in terms of that particular game because I don't really play sports games, as you both know. Not a sports boy. And I even get frustrated. I do play Fortnite, which I think we talked about a little bit, and obviously they have the microtransactions and stuff.
Yeah.
But as much as they say buy our thing, you don't have to. You can just play the game. It's fun. I mean
and Fortnite's free.
And Fortnite's free, which is pretty
crazy.
Sorry,
go on.
I was gonna say when I played Fortnite for the first time, I couldn't work out why it was free. I was playing it, and I was like, this is a full game. This is really cool. And then I figured it out, and it's cool that they can make a model out of that. That's very, I don't know how the economics of it work, but it does seem like a shame to be, seemingly, really, really creaming it off the top. Just seems like a lot.
Yeah. Before someone corrects me, I'm aware that the Save the World mode is not free, but the Fortnite Battle Royale, which is basically what Fortnite is now, is free. So get away from me. And the whole thing is that microtransactions were originally put into games because it didn't seem like a viable economic option to raise the price of video games. They thought the sales would go down, so they thought, well, costs are going up. So the only thing we can do is start some DLC or some microtransactions. And everything when it got introduced was hit with backlash, but it persevered, and now it's normal. Like the other day, I bought a microtransaction in Warzone. It was like the Warzone starter pack. I thought, oh, good, that's a cheap way to get some coins that I'll use for next season's battle pass. Thought, fine, I'll just do that. That was like £3. Whereas, if that was 5 years ago, they'd be like, oh, there's no way. I've already bought this game. I'm not spending any more.
Yeah.
And so, the issue with the £65, I have an issue with it because of the game it is and because of the publishers they are.
Yeah, exactly.
They do like to slime ball their way into as much money as they can, and they use very ethically questionable methods to get people to spend money in those games.
Well, that is pay to win, isn't it? That one is. It's not just cosmetic.
It's not.
That is
It's not just
win.
pay to win, but it's also there's also gambling, like not just loot boxes, like proper gambling mechanics. And they even released a trailer, quite an infamous trailer, where they like advertised, "Oh, look, in this game you can gamble. Look how much fun these people are having gambling their real money to try and win fake money." And it's like, what are you doing? Like, at least if you actually gamble, you've got a chance to win more money that you can spend elsewhere.
Yeah.
Whereas this, you're putting in your real money for just credits to, like...
It's funny you should say that about gambling, because the House of Lords are actually, last week, I have a quote here, they did, there was the House of Lords Gambling Committee have basically said the loot boxes is a form of gambling. And they've got a quote here that says, if a product looks like gambling and feels like gambling, it should be regulated as gambling. The government must act immediately to bring loot boxes within the remit of gambling legislation and regulation. I mean, that's specifically about loot boxes, but it does seem like, I mean, like Belgium, for instance, completely, it's completely outlawed. You can't do it. Like, there's certain games they've not released in Belgium because you can't do it.
And obviously all they're going to do is find another way around it.
Yeah.
But at least they might find a way that is less likely to target children for a start, because you think about it, a lot of people who play NBA are children. You know, a lot of kids play NBA 2K, and obviously it's probably more prevalent game in other countries maybe than the UK.
Yeah,
but it still sells pretty damn well here. And for a game that's perfectly marketed to kids, to have such abhorrent gambling mechanics, and then to raise the price of that game, which, when it's not an industry-wide decision to raise prices of games, unless it is and we don't know about it yet, is just it's just despicable, isn't it? Like it's just money grabbing in the worst way, and they don't even care. They know that they can just do this and make more money doing it.
Yeah. I think the point as well is that, like, is it that much of a different game from 5 years ago as well?
Yeah,
like,
what are they doing in that game that costs so much more to make that game than it does to make, I don't know, like, you know, like Cyberpunk's going to be £60 or £55 or £50 or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sure Cyberpunk probably costs more to make per year.
I mean, weird thing is with Cyber, I mean, I know there's a lot of people who would disagree with me and say, yeah, but I'm willing to pay, 70, 80 quid for NBA, and that's totally your choice, but I would be willing to pay 80 quid for Cyberpunk because I know that experience is going to be worth it. I know it's not necessarily something we've spoken about before, that does length equal, I guess, enjoyment or worth, but at the same time, it's, I don't know, it just feels a bit dirty, that's all. Zach, what are you going to say?
I was going to say about the costs. I mean, presumably a big part of the cost with those sports games is being able to reference real players.
The licenses,
licenses stuff. I watched an interview with Tony Hawk where he talks about how he got paid for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1, and I think he was given something like £9 million, just like right there and then. It was just like, here's a check for £9 million. Now, of course, that was an early time. It's a different world at that point, but. I mean, it says a lot about how licensing presumably works, and therefore maybe that is where all the money goes. I don't know.
I mean, it is a good point, actually, but at the same time, I think it's weird in America. I know it's different with the NFL games, because I know EA specifically are the ones that do NFL games, because they pretty much bought all the licenses.
They've got exclusive licenses, same with FIFA. Yeah,
same with FIFA, exactly. So, but I don't know. I think it's just something to keep an eye on, because especially with 2K and all those big companies, it wouldn't surprise me if they're the ones that really pushed still having microtransactions, loot boxes, and games being more expensive. So I'm going to move on just a little bit. This is actually something I mentioned to you guys during the week in our little WhatsApp group. Fallout TV series is coming on Amazon. That was a bit of a shock. So I'll just read some stuff out to you just to give you an idea, and then we'll have a little chat about that as well. So it's Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy, who are the creators of Westworld on HBO. They are working with Amazon Prime to create a TV show around the Fallout video game series. Nothing specific, which is probably the best way to start. It's just, and then that's the best thing about Fallout, is that they could just, it's just a vault that we haven't dealt with. They're all over the country, so that's great. And specifically, the quote that I've got here is, they want to make sure they get the harshness of the wasteland set against the previous generation's utopian idea of a better world through nuclear energy. So, I do think that this could be a success. I do genuinely think that.
I don't.
Fair enough. I just think with the writers, and I guess the big thing with video games obviously has always been there's never really been a good video game series or film. At least.
But who's writing it though?
Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy. So I think they are.
I thought they were just producing.
I think. Well, I imagine they'll have a hand in writing and at least helping with show running. I haven't read any details about who is actually writing because I don't think they've got that far yet. But Jonathan Nolan writes all of his brother's films, so I imagine he's gonna have a heavy hand in this.
Yeah.
But yeah, how do you guys feel? How do you guys feel?
So for me, I'm thinking that the only way you can really do this probably is just to do a TV version of what the games are, which is you wake up in a vault, something's happened in the vault, you leave the vault, and then you go around the harsh wasteland. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen that story dozens of times before. We've seen it in 5 different Fallout games. Like 6 Fallout games, if you include Fallout 76.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5. 7 Fallout games if you include Fallout 76 and Fallout Tactics.
Yeah.
Now, what possible thing could they do that is going to reinvent the wheel by making it a TV series instead of a video game? I don't know. Like, if you think about any video game film that's had any kind of success, it's usually one that goes completely away from what the game is. And there's a reason why game writing is different to film and TV writing, and usually worse, is because they have to structure it in a certain way.
Yeah.
Now, I would love for anything to be structured like Westworld. I'd love Westworld. But I just fear that the Fallout brand is not transferable, especially when every game is just a repeating story with slightly different nuances.
Yeah, it's a really good point. I think I think you are right, but I think the good thing is that it's not necessarily video game writers leading it. So, even if it's just the core story of just using, like you said, group of people in a vault, they end up leaving the vault, or one person ends up leaving the vault and then go into the wasteland. I don't think that's going to be something that's necessarily limited.
But the core story is the worst thing about the Fallout games.
That's true.
The writing can be really good in Fallout, and it comes in the small moments. It comes in the little side quests. It comes in some of the factions that you meet and all the rest of it. There is some brilliant writing in Fallout games and in the Outer Worlds as well. Obsidian made Fallout New Vegas, and it's a very Fallout-esque game. Like, there can be excellent writing. But as far as the core story, which seems like they're not going to be taking the writers from Bethesda and from Obsidian, so the core thing they're taking from the writing and the story is man wakes up in shelter, man leaves shelter, man enters wasteland, man conquers wasteland. Like, that's the part that we've read 100 times and we've seen 100 times and we've played 100 times.
I guess at the same time, for a lot of people who haven't played Fallout, it would be... I guess that's a lot of the reasons why they make these types of things, because people that haven't played the Fallout games, they see the TV series and go, I would play that. But yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm totally with you on... I'm excited and hope that it goes well, but as we know with most video games, they don't normally translate well into TV shows. How about you, Zach? How do you feel about it? Because you're a fan of Fallout, right?
Yeah, I like Fallout. I mean, you're right. The writing is usually in the small moments. It's always the best stuff. I don't know what you do as your overarching story.
What's at stake?
I mean, the one I guess you go for like Fallout 4. I suppose that sort of vibe. But it's quite sci-fi, but not quite sci-fi, and then like, what do you do about like the wastelands? How do you make that look cool on like a TV? I don't know. I just can't. The thing is, I really, like I said, same as you, I hope that they come up with something brilliant for it. I just can't picture it. I can't picture what you would, how you're gonna improve on it. I mean, there's also talk they're doing the Last of Us as a TV series.
Yeah, right? They are. Yeah.
And like, in that case, I actually just don't really see the point because I feel like we've already seen that.
I think The Last of Us specifically, it is almost it's an
just The Walking Dead with less people.
It's an interactive film anyway. It is pretty much that is it. Yeah.
This is fun actually. I showed my dad The Last of Us 1 the other day, and I made him play it. My dad hasn't played a game in 20 years, and for the first 5 minutes, he's going like, "Oh, it's a film," because obviously the first 5 minutes of The Last of Us,
it's a film. Yeah.
So I don't. Fallout. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what you do with it.
Yeah,
I
think we'll just have to. I think it's just a wait and see, basically.
If anyone is going to make it good, it'll be Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy.
Yeah, at least we know from the especially because of Westworld as well. We know that it's in some of the best hands that it could possibly be in.
I would just rather watch them create a series that wasn't Fallout. I think that's my issue. It's like if they're doing this, it means they're not doing something else.
Yeah, of course. So we're going to move on to two of the last topics now, and obviously won't take long. The first one is that Ubisoft are doing an event on this Sunday. Is it this Sunday?
Yes,
it is. And in the UK, it will be at 8 p.m, which I imagine we'll be streaming together. There's a really cool thing Ubisoft are actually doing is that they are giving away Watch Dogs 2 for free if you log into Uplay, your Uplay account during the stream. So if you log into the Uplay accounts during the stream itself, you can get Watch Dogs 2 for free on the PC, which is nice. They didn't have to do that, so that's really nice. So yeah, check that out, and also check us out, because by the time this comes out, we'll be tomorrow. So yeah, should be on tomorrow. Finally, the final point, just a little bit of fun. Donkey Kong Country is coming to the Nintendo Switch on July 15th.
I was literally playing Donkey Kong Country Returns when you messaged us.
Really?
I was like, it's a prophecy. Donkey Kong Country has returned.
I'm really excited because I didn't have a SNES, so I didn't have that as a kid. I had the Mega Drive, so I never played it. The first one I played was 64, which is nothing like the original Country games.
Is there a date attached to it?
Say again?
Is there a date attached to it?
15th of July, so a week today.
Hello?
Yeah, a week today.
Oh, I'm definitely streaming that.
Yeah, here we are. Zach, what were you saying?
Oh no, I just said I played 64 first as well. I played the Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3 with a friend a couple of years ago, but not until not until years, obviously, after it came out.
Yeah. It's it's weird because 64 is so because it obviously was rare, and at the time they were like the big games they made was Banjo-Kazooie, and it did feel like Banjo-Kazooie, but it's so weird because at the time I loved Donkey Kong 64, but then in retrospect, when you look back at it, it was a massive collectathon in a bad way. Like you had to replay levels about 4 or 5 times with each character, and it was just like, oh, who needs that? It was, again, there's something we've spoken about before, is artificially inflating games just through collecting stuff that you shouldn't really have to collect so much. But at the same time, I'm all in for Donkey Kong Country on the Switch. I'm definitely going to play that. I'm super excited.
The soundtrack, David Wise is just a magician.
Yeah, it's a very classic soundtrack, isn't it? I always love that soundtrack.
What did David Wise write for?
Donkey Kong Country.
He did the original, did he?
Yeah, and Tropical Freeze. He also so he did Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3 because he was working at Rare. So he did Diddy Kong Racing. He would have done Battletoads.
Because Grant Kirkhope was there as well. I don't think he did.
That's who I was picturing because he did Banjo and
he did Banjo.
I think he did Donkey Kong 64.
I think he was.
I think you're right. Yeah. I think you're right. But Donkey Kong Country 1 was David Wise.
Okay.
I mean, I'm very excited. It just seems like a classic game that I never got around to. So I'm really hyped. So that's it for the news today. That was probably the longest news section we've had. It's coming up to 40 minutes, which is fine. I mean, there's a lot of news. I did say there's a lot of news we got to get through, and I'm glad there's a lot of topics that I'm really glad we got to talk about. So the next thing I was going to say, though, is what have you guys been playing? Who wants to go first? Zach, do you want to go first? Because I think we should probably let you go first, because last week myself and Daf Weeks spoke about The Last of Us 2, but Zach obviously wasn't with us. And I know we got to talk about on
The Last of Us 2.
Man, if that's if you want to talk about it, you feel free.
I'll talk a little bit about it because I want to talk about. I'm on my second playthrough. I want to talk a little bit about gameplay because we did the deep dive, which was awesome. I love talking about the deep dive. That was great to talk with Hoy and Dav. And we really got into the story, but we never talked about the gameplay. I guess you guys talked a little bit last week.
Yeah.
And I'm finding I'm still learning a lot about the game actually. And I'm on my second playthrough. I'm learning about like how different things interact. The first time I played through the game, I did no upgrades. I didn't do any gun upgrades. I didn't do any personal upgrades because I kind of wanted to. I don't know. I just wanted to kind of test myself, push myself, see if I could do stuff. With the basic core gameplay. And this time I'm doing a bit more variety and stuff. And because I started getting into The Last of Us 1 speedruns, I kind of know how a lot of the design stuff works. So I'm like getting to test out all this great stuff. I've been trying. I actually messaged Jonny the other night because I was just messaging you because I've just been going through levels kind of on repeat, like trying different ways of how you can make certain things interact. Like I was doing one of the levels, I think it's Hillcrest, where obviously there's dogs in the game. They're always being led by a handler. And the interaction that you find where if you kill a dog first or if you kill the human first makes a big difference to the way the game plays. You can you can get through a whole section of killing no dogs, which makes me very happy, and not have them come after you. But of course, if you then get caught, then all the dogs that you've avoided are now bearing down on you, which is pretty wild. I think one of the great things about the game, in terms of the gameplay, is the way that it really feels like you're in a film. You really feel like you're doing the cool, badass stuff that you would watch. Normally, in older games, you would watch Nathan Drake do some awesome thing, and it's like, oh, I want to do that part. But it feels like you're always in control. You're always doing stuff, in spite of the fact that, as we were saying, The Last of Us is built like a film. That's kind of all I really want to say. Mostly this week I've been playing Super Mario World, weirdly enough.
Oh, nice!
Yeah, speaking of Super Nintendo, I picked up my Game Boy Advance cover that I've had copy that I've had since I was about 7 or something. I got it when I was a little kid. And so I was playing it long after it came out, and it was awesome then. And you know what? It's awesome now. Everything about it, the gameplay is just so tight and responsive. It's such a big adventure game. It's just go play it. Everyone go back and play Super Mario World. It's my favorite Mario game of all time. It rewards exploration. It's hard without being frustrating. I beat it when I was 7, but it's still fun to play now. It's great.
It's kind of everything you expect from a Nintendo game, really, isn't it? Like everything you just said, it's kind of what you'd expect when you get a Nintendo game. It's all of those things.
It's got real Nintendo polish, real like Nintendo charm. It's I must have beaten that game probably upward of 15 times, and I still just get so much joy from playing it. And because I played a little bit of Mario Maker, where some of those levels are built around those, and my favorite ones are still all the Super Mario ones, even though of course the new Mario Brothers ones are so polished and clean and modern looking.
Yeah,
just the very aesthetic of Mario World to me is just like so spot on.
Have you played?
Probably no. Go on.
Oh no, go on. I'll ask a question after this. So what were you going to say? You're still probably.
Sure. I was going to say it's still probably not my favorite SNES game, which is pretty amazing to say because it's up there as one of my favorite games. But SNES is just such a great console. Like I don't have one. I've only ever played those games when they brought them out on Game Boy Advance when I was.
What is your favorite SNES game?
I think I know.
Do you?
Link to the Past?
It's up there. It's between the three of them. It's Mario World, Link to the Past, and Super Metroid. Super Metroid.
I still haven't played Super Metroid.
Favorite, which I didn't play again. I didn't play that until it was on the Wii U. And yeah, SNES is a great console that I never had. That's the way I feel about it.
So what I was going to say is, have you played any of the new Mario games? Like, did you play? What was the one on the one on the Switch from the Wii U?
Was it Wii U Deluxe?
Oh, yeah, that's the one.
New Super Mario Bros.
Wii U Deluxe. Yeah, that's the one. Have you played any of the? Have you played that?
I played Super Mario Bros. Boo. Which one is it? The one on the Wii. Which is the same game, right?
Okay, yeah. I mean, because it's weird because when I played the one on the Switch,
I think.
I bought the one on the Switch last year because I hadn't played a Mario game like a 2D scroller for a long time, and I played it and I was bored. And it's weird because it got really good reviews, and when I went back to other games, I don't know. It just feels like something needs to happen for the next game. There needs to be a jump. I don't think it's jumped. Like when it did become the new Super Mario Brothers, that was amazing. Like I love the Wii game. I used to play with my friends all the time back home in Swansea. But I don't know. What like for you? Do you think there's anything that the new games could take?
I think there are a couple things that it doesn't have. It doesn't have, like I said. I mean, Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario World rather, is, like I say, it's hard without being frustrating. You can find yourself stuck on a level, but it doesn't feel like, this level again. It's like, cool, I get to play this level again. You know, like I never got upset with it. Even when I was little, and I used to get frustrated about like all kinds of stuff when I was a little kid. Like any game would bother me, but Super Mario World was just always... The other thing is, I don't think that the new ones reward exploration in the same way, so it's very much like, get to Bowser, beat Bowser, you win. Super Mario World, I never care about getting to Bowser. Getting to Bowser, it doesn't matter. The first time I played it, that was the first thing I was thinking. I was like, I've got to get to Bowser and I've got to beat Bowser. But then I was like, I'll just go and play this level again because I like it. And then it'd be like, whoa, I don't remember that door. I'm going to go in that door. Whoa, there's this whole other thing and there's all these other levels that I didn't know about. So you kind of get to play it twice. You play through the story and then it's like twice the game you thought it was, at least for a kid. I mean, I don't now, obviously, because I know where the secrets are, it's like, you know, it's a bit different. But there's still ones I don't know. I don't think I've ever 100%ed it because I'm not really a completionist. And so I think those are the two things that I think the new ones are lacking, is that sense of the balance of difficulty and the exploration. I suppose on the other hand, it's multiplayer. You know, you are playing on the same screen as someone else, so they've put a bit more emphasis on that. And that is certainly what made Super Mario Brothers on the Wii work so well. That was what was so fun. It was like I'm playing a Mario game with my buddy. But it was easier. Certainly, I mean, by the time they got onto the Wii U, I think they started making it so it could play the game for you, right?
It was, I mean, on the Switch version, you can be Peachette, and it's basically like, it's the same with Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze though, and that you can be.
What's a
Peachette? Peachette is basically Toadette gets a peach. Specifically, Toadette can get a peach power up, and then she basically becomes Peach. But she can just sort of fly through most of the level. It's usually for people. And no, there was someone else as well. Is it? There was another character. I can't remember his name, and he can basically just run through the entire level. I mean, it is for kids. It's basically for kids who don't really know how to play it and just play with their dads and their mums. And it's
kids
totally
and
fun.
Jonny.
Yeah, and me. But yeah, it's I don't know. I kind of agree with you in that. I don't, when I played it, I'm not sure if I'd buy the next one straight away if it hasn't done something new, because it just felt like the same game I played in the Wii, which is come up to 15 years old. But yeah, awesome. Thanks, Zach. Dab, what about you? What have you been up to?
I've been playing a few games, but let's stay on the platformer hype, and specifically platformers that came out a while ago. I've been playing Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy. So I've been streaming it. I started it on the 24-hour stream, did about 2.5 hours then, and then I played it for another 2 hours this Monday just gone, and I'm going to finish it on stream this Monday coming. And it's a lot of fun. It's so good. It's really challenging at times and frustrating. Challenges my patience.
The music's great as well, isn't it?
The music's really good. Yeah, just hearing the mask every time go ooga booga. It's just that's amazing. It's really good, and the levels obviously look so different, but they've crafted it really well. And I could feel halfway through a level going, I remember this level. I remember this specific part of this level when I originally played it back in the 90s or whenever. And then I could tell where I got to a level. I was like, no, this is a new level. Haven't played this one.
Right.
And I think there's just something amazing there where they've managed to keep the magic and stay true to what the game was, but still like almost reinvent the wheel with how I've said that twice now. With how it feels. Like it feels like a new game. There are some slight issues. Oh my god. So there was one. I think I've already talked about this on podcast. This is how much this stressed me out. There's one rope bridge level, right? And there's
yeah, you did say last week. Yeah.
There's certain like bits you can jump on, certain bits you can't. Oh my god! And the gap in the side. Oh, didn't need that 20 hours into a live stream. But yes, a really good game. I'm looking forward to playing the second one. I think I'll have a little bit of break first because I'm also going to start streaming Link's Awakening.
Nice.
And Donkey Kong Country on the SNES.
Nice.
Of the SNES version. And also Paper Mario when that comes out. So I'm going to be on a bit of a Nintendo train.
Yeah,
all those and then Warzone to balance. Also, while I'm here, I got my first proper win on Warzone.
Oh, nice.
Battle Royale. I cannot explain the amazing sensation. Honestly, it was euphoric. We got to the point there was 3 squads left. We were playing trios. 3 squads left. There were 2 full squads, and both my teammates had died. So it was just me.
Oh, jeez.
And I managed to kill all 6 of them myself. And the whole time my heart is going. And just blood rushing through all my veins at such high velocity, and then just pat 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 pat, and then it was really tense because the circle was moving. We had to like go with it, and mate. And then I turned off my Xbox as soon as I won. I mean, it was insane.
Well, you were gonna,
go on.
No, I was just gonna say you're not gonna beat that feeling. You're just like, well, I'm done.
I couldn't. I had to take a break.
Yeah.
Honestly, my heart was racing, and like the adrenaline just rushing through my veins. It's like. I've never felt that way playing any game before that I remember. And like, there's 150 people, and our squad between us killed 31 of them. Like, I got 13 kills, and I just never felt as amazing as I did then. Like, getting both of those squads and taking them both down at the end. I felt like an absolute god.
Do you know what?
I'm getting a
emotional.
rush just talking about it. Oh my god!
It's great to hear that it's bad. Like, because. I don't know. It does make me want to play that game. I doubt I will, just because I don't have the time to invest into it. But like, it does make. I did used to love. I can definitely tap into that feeling. I can see. When you get those wins, it is the best. But
I screamed so loudly. I was like, "You okay?" I was like, "Am I okay? I'm amazing."
The one thing I was going to say to you though, going back to what you first said about Crash Bandicoot, is I so often see that game reduced to like 17 quid on the Switch.
Oh, do it.
And I think I've been so tempted every single time, but I think we've had this conversation for like 3 weeks in a row now. But every time you've just made me go, I think I'm just going to have to get it. I told you before I got to Spiral, which I played the first game, and I was like, the second game felt so similar. I was like, oh, you know what, I don't need to play this again, but I don't think that has the same replayability that Crash has.
Yeah. I think with Spyro as well, when you're playing through a level, you naturally explore, right? And so when you finish that level, if you didn't 100% it, you kind of feel like you already explored it, and you don't really want to go back and like find the one little thing you didn't find.
Yeah.
Which is Crash. I'll end a level, and they're like, "You missed 41 crates."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know where they would have been.
Yeah.
That's interesting. When I finish these 3 games, if Crash 4 hasn't come out by then, I might have to go back and have a look for those 41 crates. But no, it's a really cool game, and I think I found it for 20 quid. So
that's great, man. I mean,
yeah.
Do you know, like, and the thing is, I do love it when companies do that. To be fair, when they you get an experience like that for £20, you think this would be worth so much more if it came out proper. If this came out
65
now,
NBA 2K.
But yeah, that's great, man. I probably will pick up Crash. I've always said I always want to pick it up on the Switch, and I just haven't seen it recently for like £17. If I do see it, I probably will grab it. To move on to myself when it comes to games, I actually haven't really. I've been playing Bioshock Infinite, and I've said that last week, but I've been dipping in and out. For me, because I completed it before, it's a great game to dip in and out of, and I am loving it. I probably will get the first one as well, but I want to finish this one first. I don't see the point.
How does it compare to when it came out?
I was saying last week, it feels more arcadey than I remember. I don't like the aiming system as much as I remembered, especially on a controller. I imagine on a mouse, maybe if people are using a mouse, it's a lot easier. But on a controller, it just, I don't know, because the way
is it quite slidey?
Well, yeah, and the way to zoom, you can't zoom. You have to press in the R3. You can't. It's not like a scope. So like I mean, there is a scope, but it's not just one of those things.
Oh,
you can
because you've
scope
got
in.
like
Yeah.
powers or something in your other hand.
Yeah, because you've got powers, and I'm always tempted to just press L2 or R2, and I'm like, I'm confused. It is holding up. I am still really enjoying it. There are a few issues I have with the game, but that's to be expected from a game. I said last week that's 7 years old, so I'm really enjoying it. I'm still enjoying the story. I mean, I know the story. I know what's going to happen, but I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it's not disappointed me. Like it's so often you go back and play a game from like 7 years ago, like we say all the time,
Totally.
and it's like, oh, I wish I hadn't played that because it's ruined my nostalgia.
Yeah.
But I don't feel that at all.
Following our talk from last week, I've decided the next rank the jank is going to be Bioshock 1.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's an interesting one, because that still gets quite a lot of love.
Yes.
Well, weirdly, I said last night I've been doing a lot of reading on that game and on Bioshock Infinite in general, and just I'll be interested to see what you come up with, Dave, because that is a very, I didn't realize. I know Bioshock Infinite was divisive, and Bioshock initially was like just beloved, but over the years people have picked apart like the end of that game in particular. But yeah, there was another game I have been playing. By playing, I mean I played an hour of it because I just didn't get the time to sit down and really invest time in it, and I don't want to pick and go with this one. That's God of War. I was only I started playing it, but I was only able to play for an hour, and I've
you want to hold off until you get more into it.
Yeah, I don't want to sit there for like 45 minutes and just go through it like that. I'd rather just play the whole game in just one massive go and just get out of the way. I don't want to make that an experience where I'm just dipping in and out because I mean, yeah, I already can tell that just from the game design, the sound design, all of that, it's an impressive game. Yeah. And I don't want to ruin that experience. So I'm trying to hold off until I get a bit of time where I can go just go, right, I'm gonna play it. Probably this weekend actually. But yeah. So we're coming up to the last 5 minutes, and I've got a quiz for you guys. It's not necessarily a quiz like normal. It's slightly different this time. This time is our question for the day. And again, actually, I told you guys on the WhatsApp this weekend, I have a lot of people who message me saying they actually have really been enjoying the quiz at the end of the show. So I'm going to try and keep it up. It's becoming quite hard because there's only certain things I can talk about where it's just like I'm just going over the same thing. So if you have any ideas of quizzes that I can give to the guys, please let me know. I have been given a couple of ideas by one of my friends who has really, really enjoyed it, and I really, really appreciate him tuning in.
Send in your quizzes to videogamesahoy@gmail.com.
Yeah, send us a quiz, and we'll see if he gets on as well. We really, really enjoy them. So this week is so I've extended the year. Normally I do the last 10 years, or if it's like a long thing, all the time. So this time I've only done 15 years, and I'll explain what it is. It's the Game of the Year winners from the Game Awards specifically, and formerly the Spike Video Game Awards. So it goes back to 2005.
Okay.
So it goes back to 2005. Wow, okay. So what you're going to try and do is you're going to try and guess every single Game Award winner from 2005 to 2019. So one thing I would say is we've got two options of doing this. The first option is we start in 2005 and move along chronologically until we get to the end, where you both get 2 goes each for every year, and then if one of you gets it right, the next person starts on the next question. Or you can just randomly say the year 2008 was blah blah blah.
How would you go year by year?
Year by year. Okay. So what I'll do is
if we both get it wrong, can you give us the nominees?
I don't have the nominees in front of me. I just have the winners.
All right.
Try and I can give you a hint. I'll give you a hint.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint. Okay. So.
Are we keeping score?
I'm
joking.
You can do.
I'll be keeping score.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So we'll start in 2005. We'll start with Dav in 2005. So you get, like I said, 2 goes each for 2005, and then we'll move on. What was the Game Award winner?
I tell you what, every time it might be worth if you tell us which console it was on, or like multi-platform.
I think again, I don't have that in front of me.
I don't even know what games came out in 2005.
I think it was the GameCube.
GameCube 2005.
Resident Evil 4.
But bang on.
Dang, was that 2005? I thought
was
it was
2005.
earlier than that.
That's why I don't want to give you
Wow.
the console, because I think if I give you the console, it might become
That's
a
too.
lot
Yeah, to be
easier.
fair, console helps on that one.
Especially because the
I wouldn't-
GameCube, there wasn't that many games. Like there was only a few games,
I'm-
but
But I
also
think there's going to be
Yeah,
loads
but
that we just
still.
can't think
Yeah,
of.
okay.
Otherwise, it's going to get
Yeah.
impossible.
there we are. Great. So what I'll do is you'll have 2 goes, and then what I'll do is if you are stuck, I will then give you a guess, not a guess, like a clue,
hint.
and then you can have 1 more go each.
Awesome.
2006. Zach, your turn. Both still get 2 goes. Still get 2 goes.
Twilight Princess, maybe.
No, good guess though.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare?
Nope. After the clue, I will tell you though. Okay.
Okay.
So you get another go, Zach,
I'll get another go, and then it's the hint.
and then Dab gets another go, and then the hint.
Right. 2006. Is it a Pokemon game?
I can't
Maybe.
tell you that. I'll tell you in the clue.
Damn
Okay.
it.
I'll tell you in the clue.
Well, guess a Pokemon game then.
Yeah. Guess Pokemon. game.
Pokemon Pearl and Diamond, I guess, is the one. Is that the one?
Sorry. Nope. Dav,
No, that's
last
it.
guess, and I'll tell you a clue. We'll go back to Zach, and you both get 1 more go.
Let's go with 2006. 2006. Hitman Blood Money.
Nope. So the clue is it was the 4th game from what I can see in the series. Very specifically, the 4th game in the series.
Oh wow.
Huh.
No, that's not it. Damn it.
You gotta say it now. So 1
I
more
was
go.
gonna
You get
say-
both when you both guess.
I know it's definitely wrong because it's not the 4th game in the series. No, that's not it either. What I was gonna say was Mario Galaxy, but that's not 4th in the series. Just 4th.
No,
in
it's
the,
not Mario Galaxy. No.
It's not even third. It's 3rd in the.
Yeah, 3rd. Yeah.
It's not.
No, it's not that. Dav?
4th in the series.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it?
And apologies if it's wrong, but from what I'm seeing, it's telling me the 4th.
Rainbow Six Vegas 2?
No, so it's The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion.
Oh.
2006. We definitely
2006.
should have had that.
Yeah.
Damn
Okay,
it.
so
That's a
2000.
good one.
So we'll start with Zach. I know Zach started last time. Actually, no,
Sure.
Dav, we'll start with you.
Okay.
Because Zach.
2007.
2007.
Oh.
2007.
Oh,
Super
I know
Mario
what this
Galaxy.
is.
Nope.
It's Assassin's Creed, surely.
Nope.
Damn
Halo
it.
3.
Nope.
2007 was a good year, I think.
Oh, I know what it is.
I don't. I sincerely don't know what it is. 2007.
2007. Have a guess.
Gears of War. Is
Good
that
shout, but it's not
2007?
Gears of War. Dav,
No.
do you need a clue?
I've had 2. Yeah, go on.
Do you want a
give
clue?
us the hint. Give the
let's
hint.
have the
Give Zach a
Okay.
chance.
Okay. Well, I'll give. So let's just think
I
of a
didn't
clue
mean
very
that.
quickly. Okay. The game is based on Ayn Rand philosophy. Ayn Rand, not Ayn Rand.
Shock.
Bioshock. Yeah, it's Bioshock. Ayn Rand, not Ayn Rand.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
Ayn
don't
Rand.
think I realised that was 2007. 2007 was a good year in that.
It was
case.
It's a very, very good
If
year.
you'd
for
listened
games.
to the Rank the Jank, you'd know it was a good year. As I list off all the great games that came out that year.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to 2008.
I did watch Rank the Jank. I
Rewatch it.
So,
I was going to guess Uncharted,
I'll
but I
rewatch
thought
it, I'll find
it
out.
better not.
so 2008. Zach, do you want to go first?
2008. Damn, I really can't think of a single game that came out that year.
It'll obviously get easier when we get in the last decade, but the last, that's a long time ago. 2008.
I really don't know what came out. Go for Dav first, because
Okay,
I can't
Dav.
think of a single game.
Call of
Okay.
Duty Modern Warfare?
Nope.
Ah.
Good shout though.
Oh, I've got a guess.
I can't think of a single game that came out in 2008. I'm really not.
That's
good on
okay.
this one. I'm
Just
gonna
throw,
have to
man. If
You
you
go
want to
on.
throw, you can either throw a guess or just ask Dav, because I think Dav's got an answer.
just pass, because whatever I'm going to
Okay.
say is going to be the wrong year.
Dav.
That's fine. You can get the wrong year. I've got the wrong year on some of
Yeah.
these. Mass Effect?
No.
Oh.
Shall I give a clue?
Let's have
Yeah.
a hint.
You're gonna hate me for this. It is the 4th game in the series.
Call of Duty
stop
Modern
it.
Warfare.
Officially the fourth game in the series.
Modern Warfare.
No. Actually, sorry, let me take that back. It is the fourth numbered game in the series. It's not the fourth. There are more games in the series, but it's the fourth numbered game in the series. So I'll give you another go after that, and I'll explain why.
Huh.
Fourth numbers.
Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag.
Nope.
Okay, that's my guess gone.
Too early.
I know.
Zach, do you want me to tell you the answer?
Yeah, go on.
It's Grand Theft Auto 4. Because Vice City, San Andreas, you had the London one as well.
Stories.
Yeah.
Stories.
This is the fourth numbered game in the series. Okay. Okay, we're moving on. So who went first last time? Was it Zach?
Technically, it was me, so you should go for Dav.
Dav, off you go. 2009.
I don't know. 2009. Mass Effect.
Nope. Good guess, but not right.
2009 was Assassin's Creed 2, one of the best games ever. So I'm going to say Assassin's Creed 2.
Nope. Dav?
2009.
What?
I'm going to say Super Mario Galaxy 2.
Nope. Good guess, but nope. Zach?
When did Skyward Sword come out? I mean, it didn't get it, but it could have been the right year. 2009.
It'd be later than that. Skyward
I
Sword.
think when you get to, Skyward Sword is. I'm going to give you a hint here. Skyward Sword is 2011. Yeah, 2011.
Let's have a hint.
We have previously spoken about this game.
Oh, what? Oh, is it Uncharted 2?
It is Uncharted 2.
Come on. That's ridiculous.
Game of the year, Zach.
Yeah, Game of the Year. Can you imagine?
Okay, 2010. Zach goes first, I think. 2010.
Is it Halo Reach?
Nope. Dav?
2010. 2010.
Yep.
2010. Modern Warfare 2?
Nope. Zach? It will get easier now, though we're coming into the last decade. So.
What was I
You
playing
say
in
that.
2010? I don't know, man, because I feel like.
Do you want a hint?
Yeah, please. I'm so bad at this game.
Okay, so I'll give you two hints, but I'll give you if you need another one. I've got one here. So this is technically the third game in the series, but officially it was a reboot.
Oh.
Series officially a reboot.
Mm-hmm.
That makes it sound like Sonic Boom or something. Definitely wasn't that.
Definitely wasn't that in 2010.
Oh yeah, it's got to be Game of the Year. I was like, Banjo-Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts?
Do you want a second? I'll give you a second clue, just because.
Yeah.
Second clue.
Okay.
The sequel came out in the last 5 years.
It was the third, but it's technically a reboot.
The sequel came out.
I'm gonna have to give you like 10 seconds, like the next 20 seconds, okay?
Really don't.
Just 'cause we're running out of
time.
Devil May Cry 3?
No, I'll just tell the answer is Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, wait. That was the second.
It was the third. There was three. So there was two games before that, but they were both.
Red Dead Revolver and...
There was another one before that as well. I can't remember what it's called. Or maybe I'm wrong.
I think you're wrong.
Okay, we'll check.
People were saying Red Dead Redemption 2 was going to be Red Dead 3.
I'll find out. Okay, we'll move on to 2011. What's 2011?
Skyrim.
Yes.
Yes. Damn it! I wouldn't have even guessed that, and that's so obvious.
Okay, I'll be very impressed if you get this one. 2012.
2012 was a good year too. I think since you said that you're going to be impressed, then it's not the obvious one. Was it Far Cry 3?
Nope.
No.
Gonna be impressed if we get this one. Mass Effect 2?
Nope. Zach?
I mean, I would have thought it would be.
It is very okay. I'm going to give you a hint now because it's very
Yeah.
It's a very, very left field choice. I would never have guessed this game, but the best clue I can give you.
Journey.
No, it is based on okay. There's a very famous TV show And that's all I'll say.
Oh,
The Walking Dead.
It's The Walking Dead, yeah.
Yeah.
2012.
Yeah, that surprises me actually. 'Cause
Yeah.
that was a good year.
I would
and
never have
Well, it was
guessed
the
that.
first one like that.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess
of
that's
that
true.
to that degree.
I never really got into the Walking Dead one. I haven't played any of the other Telltale ones. I quite liked it, but it just didn't quite grip me. I was probably quite bitter because I quite liked the comic book series, and I always liked Rick Grimes. Thought he was cool.
Okay.
But what's the name of the guy in the league?
Oh, I don't remember his name.
So we're going to move into 2013. We got a couple, well, loads left. Halfway there, though. 2013.
Bayonetta 2.
Nope. Zach?
Zombie U? I thought that game
Nope.
was pretty good. No one else liked it.
Zombie U.
Zombie U is a great answer.
People did
love
like that.
Zombie U.
People did like that when it came out.
You tell everybody
It's a
the
really
other
good
day, but
game.
it's not the answer.
Assassin's
did
Creed
Halo
4
4
Black
come out
Flag.
that year?
Just say it again, Dev?
Black Flag.
Nope. Zach?
Did Halo 4 come out that year?
It might have come out the year, but it wasn't this. I'm just going to give you a hint. It's not a hint, though, because you should get this game.
The Last of Us.
Oh, it's The
No.
Last of Us.
It's
Come
not The
on.
Last of Us. It's not The Last of Us. It's not The Last of Us.
Oh.
Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Okay, I'm just going to tell you.
No, wait, don't.
Okay, shall I? I'll give you one hint. It is the biggest game of all time.
Ocarina of Time 3DS.
We said Skyrim.
Damn it.
GTA 5.
GTA 5.
Biggest game?
GTA 5.
Oh, what? Whatever.
Yeah, yeah. It was up against The
I'm
Last of Us.
mad.
It was up against The Last of Us, though, to compare it. So, okay, we're coming up to 2014. Not got long left. So, what was 2014?
Bloodborne.
Nope. Good guess.
Witcher
though.
3.
Nope. Zach?
2014. Shadows of Mordor or something? I don't know.
Give us a hint.
It's made by EA.
Oh, really?
Mass Effect 3, no.
I think it's made by EA. Yeah, I'm fairly sure it's made by EA.
Dragon Age Inquisition.
That's right. Yeah, Dragon Age Inquisition.
Now we're into the Game Awards, not the VGAs.
Yeah, yeah. So now we are. I mean, we're very close. I imagine you'll probably get the rest of these fairly quickly. Okay.
Make it
2015.
2015.
Have a wee think. What you think it is?
Right, we're talking Xbox One, PS4 now.
Yeah. It's multi-platform, if that helps.
2015. 2015. I can't think of anything that was nominated that year.
Zach, do you have any ideas? 2015.
I didn't think of any games that came out in 2015. The only thing I think I was playing at the time was like, I remember seeing my friend play Bloodborne, I think, that year.
It's not Bloodborne.
Last
it's a good
Guardian?
game. No.
Couldn't
Zach,
be
you
Last
get-
Guardian.
So one more go, Zach, and then I'll give you a hint.
No, just go for a hint. Let me hear it.
Okay. I recently put 100 hours into this game last year.
Witcher 3.
Yeah, Witcher 3 2020.
I was a
2015.
year off. I was a year off.
Yeah, Witcher 3 2015. Okay, 2016.
The Last Guardian.
Nope.
Yeah.
like
2016.
Tomb Raider or something stupid.
Nope.
Bloodborne.
No.
No, that was Witcher 3 year.
I'll
Damn it.
give you a
on, yeah,
I'll give you a
give us a
hint
hint.
with this. To my knowledge. Oh no, okay, I'll give you a hint. It was recently released on the Switch last October. I believe it was October. It was definitely released on the Switch last year.
Doom.
No.
This isn't fair. I don't have a Switch anymore.
2016, yeah?
2016, yeah, it was recent,
Damn.
but it was
Doom
recently
did come out
released.
2016 as well.
It was recently released on the Switch last year. I'm gonna have to give you like 10 seconds. We are running out
Go
of
for
time.
it. Go for it.
Should I tell you what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
go on.
Overwatch.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
Okay.
play
Critics
Right.
loved that.
So the last 3 years should be like I imagine you probably know these three. So 2017.
Last Guardian? No.
Nope. Zach, you should know
2017.
this.
I should know this.
Yes. What happened in
I don't play-
2017?
I don't
Oh,
play
Breath of the
games.
Wild.
Breath of the Wild.
Oh, I should know this. I do play games.
Yeah, 2017 Breath of the Wild. Yeah,
Man, I
and
thought that was earlier.
Breath of the Wild was I remember winning just so many awards that year. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, fair enough.
2018.
God of War.
That's right. I was convinced it was going to be Red Dead Redemption, and then when God of War won, I was like, oh,
I need to play this game.
Better be good because Red Dead was amazing. And finally, 2019.
Sekiro.
That is correct. Sekiro, Shadows, Die twice. Well done, gents. I mean, like I said, it was more fun towards the first 5 years, just because racking your brains. Those like 2005 to 2010.
With no clues as well. That's come on,
it's
video games journalists. What can you muster?
You did a great job. That is it. That is the end of podcast number 12. Thank you very much for listening today. If you enjoyed the show, then please follow us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Patreon. Tell your friends. Give us a review, a comment, send us a question, send me a question, make sure those guys don't see it if you can.
Yes, put quiz question in the subject so I won't read it.
So Dad won't read it because we'd love to get more quizzes on the go. That would really mean the world to us. I've already got a quiz for next week planned, so just keep them coming in. That would really appreciate it. Dav, are you streaming on this week? We are streaming on Sunday, the Ubisoft event. We're streaming on Sunday, but Dav, are you streaming beyond that?
I am. On Monday, I'll be finishing Crash and doing a bit of Warzone.
Amazing.
And on Tuesday, I will be carrying on with The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening on the Switch.
Amazing. There we are.
Nice.
Thank you very much, gents. This is Video Games Ahoy, and we'll see you next week.
Ahoy!
Ahoy.